Time for the look at the Simulated Baseball League Division Series playoff results. And these series started on February the 13th. We'll start with the National League side of the geographic alignment. The Red Sox, who won the Central Division, the Red Sox were the wild card at 94 and 68. They were the wild card out of the Central Division, which was also the Northeast Corridor, also known as the Northeast Corridor Division in our National League that was aligned based along geography. And they took on the Dodgers. They were in the Western Division of the National League, which was home to all 5 California baseball teams. In that series, the opening game at Los Angeles on Thursday afternoon, February 13, the Dodgers won the opener by a score of 6-3. 6 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Dodgers, 3-8-1 for Boston. The victory to Sandy Koufax, the loss to Cy Young, Eric Gagne, the save. Ted Williams hit a home run for Boston, and Steve Garvey homered for the Dodgers. The Red Sox came back and they won Game 2 on Thursday evening, the 13th of February. The final in Game 2 of that series, 8-3 Boston. Dutch Leonard got the victory for Boston, and the Dodger loss to Don Sutton. Home runs for the Red Sox, there were 4. Yastrzemski, Fred Lynn, Carlton Fisk, and John Valentin, each hitting a home run, all with their first home runs of the postseason, and Matt Kemp hit number 1 for Los Angeles. Then on Friday morning, February 14th, the series shifted to Boston, and the Red Sox won by a big-time score of 10-4. And Boston scored those 10 runs on just 8 hits. George Winter was the victorious pitcher, and the loss was charged to Clayton Kershaw. Red Sox got a home run from Yastrzemski and one from Petrocelli. Yastrzemski's was the second of the postseason in his column. Garvey hit his second postseason home run for the losing Dodgers. And so now Boston up 2-1, looking to wrap it up in the Friday afternoon game. And Boston would win that 4th game and clinch the series 13-11. The Dodgers had 7 in the 3rd and 4 in the 4th. All 11 of their runs came in those 2 innings. And in fact, oh my goodness, the Dodgers led 11-0 after 4 innings. The Red Sox had 4 in the 5th, 4 in the 6th to make it 11-8, 5 in the 8th to win it, 13-11. Unbelievable. Not often you see 5 different innings where teams score and all of the number of the run totals are 4 or greater. I somehow doubt in actual baseball history that there's ever been a team score 11 runs in a postseason game, lead 11-0, only to then surrender 13. That's unbelievable. Orel Hershiser started it. In fact, let's go over the pitching lines. Hershiser, 5 2/3, 10 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned. Joe Black, 1 2/3, 2 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks. Jim Brewer took the loss, 1/3, 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 walk. So Brewer with the loss 0-1, and that eliminated the Dodgers. For Boston, Jim Lonberg, 2 innings with the start, 6 hits, 6 runs, all earned, walking 2, striking out 2. Murray Waugh, 1 2/3, 4 runs earned, 4 hits. And then the Boston bullpen got its act in gear. Elmore Steele, 2 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run earned. Jonathan Papelbon, 1 2/3, no runs on a hit. Hideki Akajima got the win, 1-0, 1/3 of an inning pitched, and Uehara the save, a hitless 9th inning. Unbelievable. Home runs in this one. For the losing Dodgers, who scored all the runs early, Garvey hit number 3, and that was the only home run. For the rallying Red Sox, Petrocelli hit number 2, Rice number 1. That was a grand slam to account for the 4 runs in the 6th inning that keyed the comeback. And Carlton Fisk hit number 2. So the Red Sox won that series 3-1, and they win games 2, 3, and 4. The other series in the National League version of our alignment featured the Braves and the Yankees. The Yankees won that Northeast Corridor division, 1 game over the Red Sox. They were 95-67. And that was obviously the National League Central. The Braves won the National League East. That was the Sun Belt division that featured Atlanta along with the 2 Florida clubs and the 2 Texas teams. The Braves edged out the Astros. Atlanta was also 95-67, and the Astros 93-69. So the Braves and the Yankees came in with identical records, and based on the season series, the Braves received home field, and Atlanta won the opening game of that series by a score of 4-0. Greg Maddux the win, and Ron Guidry the Yankee loss. Although the Yankees had their chances, Maddux 8 innings, 8 hits. But they do not score, and the only 2 home runs for the Braves were both hit by Joe Torre, who ironically, in the real history of baseball, managed both of those ball clubs. Obviously, great success with the Yankees, and he managed the Braves when they won a division championship in '82, and when they were very much a contender. In fact, they led for the bulk of the '83 season until middle of August, when the Dodgers eventually caught up to them, and the Dodgers, of course, went on to win that division title in 1983 before they were knocked out by the Phillies, the Wheeze Kids, as Mike Schmidt once called them. The Braves also won Game 2 at Atlanta, 2-1 in 10 innings. And what's remarkable about this, the Yankees had a 1-0 lead until the 8th inning. The Braves getting a single run in the 8th. And that was because of an error. That tied the game. And the Braves won the game in the 10th inning when Tommy Holmes homered off Mariano Rivera. How about that? So Craig Kimbrell is going to get the win for Atlanta, and Mariano Rivera the loss, and the Tommy Holmes home run, the only homer of the game, is first, and the Braves win Game 2 in 10 innings, 2-1, and now they're up 2-0 in the series. Now the scene for Game 3 on Friday morning, February 14, shifts to the Yankees' home park of Yankee Stadium, a much more offensive-oriented stadium, and boy, did the score reflected in this game. 16-8 Yankees. And the Braves never really were in this game. 5 of their 8 runs were scored in the final 3 innings. The Yankees were well on their way early. They had 3 in the first, 4 in the third, and 5 in the fourth. They had 12 runs in the first 4 innings of the game. Ray Caldwell, who was on the Yankees before they were really a historic franchise back in 1910. Caldwell the win, 1-0. Warren Spahn the loss, for Atlanta. The Yankees ended up using 6 relief pitchers, believe it or not, in this game. Caldwell pitched just 5 innings. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. And so the Yankees went to their bullpen. Home runs in this particular game for the Yankees. Gehrig hit number 1. Ruth hit 3. And Jeter hit 1. For Atlanta, Bill Sweeney, who was a 1912 Boston Brave, homered. And all of their runs were solo home, or most of their runs were on home runs, I should say. Because in addition to number 1 for Sweeney, Torrey hit number 3. And Chipper Jones and Hank Aaron both hit number 1. So 16-8, the Yankees won the 3rd game to stay alive in the series. And in the 4th game, on Friday afternoon, February 14th, the Braves would put the Yankees away in 4 games. They won the 4th game at New York by a score of 9-4. Art Neff the victory, Fritz Peterson the loss. Neff pitched for the Braves in the 19-teens. Peterson was a Yankee in the 60s. Home runs for the Braves, Eddie Matthews a pair, numbers 1 and 2. Hank Aaron number 2, and Felipe Alou hit number 1. Mickey Mantle hit number 1 for New York. 9-4 Atlanta in Game 4. And so the Braves won that series in 4 games. And so the National League matchup is the Braves and Red Sox for the championship series on that side. Boston's current club and Boston's former team that shared the town with the Red Sox. Now on the American League side, in our special alignment, you have the Cardinals, who won the American League Central Division, and they took on the Cleveland Indians. Cleveland won the American League East in the alignment that we had. Cleveland was in a division with Toronto, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and Detroit. The Cardinals were in a division with Colorado, Arizona, Kansas City, and Seattle. The other matchup, the Western Division Championship for the Chicago White Sox, they were aligned with the Cubs, Milwaukee, and Minnesota, and they took on the wild card team. The wild card went to the Cincinnati Reds out of that Eastern Division. The Indians won the East with 92 victories, the 92 and 70. They took on the 89 and 73 Cardinals. Meantime, the Reds at 90 and 72 actually had a better record than the White Sox, who won their division at just 86 and 76. So we'll tell you about the results on that side now. So we start with Wednesday afternoon, and we'll first go through the White Sox and the Indians. The first game Wednesday afternoon, or I keep saying Wednesday. I don't know what's wrong with me. Thursday afternoon, February the 13th. Thursday, February 13. And the first game in the afternoon that Cleveland and the White Sox played, and Cleveland won the game by the score of 7-4. Addie Joss the win, Franco in the loss, Rafael Perez the save. The White Sox hit the only home run. Dick Allen, in fact they hit 2. Dick Allen hit number 1 and Jermaine Dye number 1. But the Indians won the opener by the score of 7-4. Cleveland would also win the second game, played on the 13th on that Thursday evening. The final in that one was 7-5. And in this game, Bob Howry is the win and gets the win in relief. The White Sox loss to Roy Patterson in relief, and the save for Cleveland goes to David Risk. Al Rosen homered for Cleveland, and for the White Sox, Appling number 1 and Jermaine Dye hit number 2, but Cleveland won the game 7-5. On to Friday morning, the 14th of February, and the Indians and White Sox game 3 at Chicago. And Chicago won that, or Cleveland won it 7-4. And I think I may have said earlier that Cincinnati played Chicago. I was wrong. Cincinnati was playing St. Louis. So, my apologies. So, Cleveland and the White Sox, 7-4, 7-5, and 7-4. Cleveland wins all three. The Indians winning 92, sweep the White Sox, who won 86. The Eastern Division champ in this alignment sweeps out the Western Division champion. Mike Garcia got the victory, and the loss goes to Reb Russell. And Rafael Perez a save, his second. For Cleveland, the White Sox hit the only home runs. Dye number 3 and Frank Thomas number 1. Indians sweep the White Sox 7-4. So it's Reds and Cardinals in the other series. Cincinnati again the wild card out of the East, and the Cardinals won the West. They won the Central Division, which is the what I call the gateway: St. Louis, Kansas City, Denver, Phoenix, and Seattle. And the Cardinals had a better record than the White Sox. I should have realized that from the beginning. Hello, duh. So now we will take a look at the series between the Reds and the Redbirds. And games 1 and 2 at St. Louis on Thursday the 13th. The afternoon game, the Cardinals won big, 9-1. There were no home runs in this game. Bob Gibson the win, and the loss to Art Fromm, who was on the 1909 Cincinnati Reds. 9-1 Cardinals in Game 1. Game 2, the Cardinals also win going away, 7-0 the final in that one. No homers in this one either. John Tudor over Jose Rijo. Tudor a 3-hit complete game effort, needing just 104 pitches to blank Cincinnati. 7-0 Cardinals in Game 2. Game 3, Friday morning, February 14, Cincinnati the home club. And the Cardinals won that also, so both series on this side are sweeps. 7-4 Cardinal final. Adam Wainwright got the victory. And the Cincinnati loss to Mario Soto. Jason Mott the save. Cardinal home runs. Musial and Pujols, each with number 1. Two very famous Cardinals, one of the old school and one of very modern recent times. Kluszewski and Chu both homered for Cincinnati. So that'll wrap up the look at the Division Series in our special simulated league. And the Championship Series will feature the Cardinals and the Indians on the American League side of the alignment. The team that won the Gateway Division takes on the team that won the Eastern Division, which was all the clubs in the Ohio River and Great Lakes region of the eastern and northeastern U.S., plus southern Ontario. And on the National League side, it's the wild card winner out of the Northeast Corridor Division, the Red Sox, taking on the Braves, who won the Eastern Division, also known as the Sun Belt. And those two series we'll talk about in the next clip.